Yesterday, the Gemara came in about Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef is the one who had said that it's not necessary to say Fanei Nechtam from Bovel to Eretz Yisrael. And the Gemara said not only are they Bekin Lishma, but also there's already travel because people come back and forth from Bovel to Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yosef's questioned if Rabbi Yosef is trustworthy. Maybe he's not a Bar Samcha. And also, he even found a fault in him because he wrote a pasuk and he didn't do sirtut. And if you have 3 or 4 words, some or 3 or 4, you have to do sirtut. Abai said, even if he doesn't know the statement of Rabbi Yitzchak or Bryce, it doesn't mean that it's not Talmud Chacham. It's not totally in Sfara. Also, Rabbi Yosef was a great man that he doesn't say that he had Gili Elio. That wasn't enough. But besides Gili Elio, Hashem agreed that he got the right shot in Filagish Begiva, that one of the reasons why it triggered the husband to get angry was because he found a zvuv, a fly. The Gemara says a fly in the plate. He wasn't makbid until after the Nima, but he was right in the pshat in Batizn Allah Pilaksha. But because of that, the Gemara continues, Amr of Chista, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bottom. The Gemara says something about Pilakesh Begiva, and I guess it will be parentheses, it's a side point. Amr of Chista. A person shouldn't make his household fearful. People shouldn't be scared of him, even though he has good intention maybe, but they shouldn't be too scared of him because it can cause a ritual. And it brings the proof from Pilagesh Begiva, Sharei Pilagesh Begiva, Hitalala Bala Emi Yiseri. You see that the woman, the Pilagesh, was scared of her husband. It doesn't say in the pasuk openly. The Gemara, you could tell, the pasuk doesn't say anything about the Gemara does say that she was scared of him. The fact that she went away to her father's home was because she was scared of him. And it says that it wasn't a good matzah. It shouldn't be that a woman should be so fearful of her. As a result, of course, it's very, very indirect. The fact that she was scared of him, and then when she did something wrong, she ran away to her father's home. And then by the way, it wasn't a direct result. It was that after they were going home and the father kept them until it was late, and they didn't find a good place to stay over. They stayed by Giva, and over there, it happened the whole story for Legesh Giva, and then there was a civil war between Binyamin and the rest of Am Yisrael, and tens of thousands of Jews were killed. So even though it was not a direct cause, but since it was something in the story that Amy Yisrael, the husband, caused eventually that so many tens of thousands, a bit like Megagel and Chov al Dechayev, the fact that it came through such a story. So you see that a person should be careful that he shouldn't have too much. They shouldn't be too fearful of him in his household. Also a similar idea about when it's too fearful in the home, people are going to be scared of him. It's going to cause many averus because of him. So it doesn't say how that happens. Rashi says it could be because they're scared of him. Rashi says when she has to be told and she can't because it's too cold, she's going to be scared and said that she did go to the mikvah. Rashi says she'll be going away because she's scared of her husband and she might fall into a ditch or something. And Chil Shabbos, that she might light the Ner Shabbos too late because she's scared her husband's going to see she didn't light the Ner, whatever it might be. She might cook maybe after Shabbos if she's scared of him. Toshis talks about that it could be that all of these averos happened by Pilegesh Begiva, the Gila Rayis, the whole story, the story of Pilegesh Begiva, Shvichas Damim, people got killed. Chil Shabbos says that it might have been that it was on Shabbos. The story of Pilegesh Begiva might have been on Shabbos. Some Magaros Chil Hashem. But anyway, you see that a person should be careful not to have too much. They shouldn't be too fearful of him in his household. This is the Mishnah in Shabbos and Perik Mehmet Likin. People say it every day, every week. I'm sorry, that the person should say 3 things in his household there. Shabbos towards the night. Did you take off Meiser that he's supposed to? Did you make a ner that he's supposed to? And also he reminds them to light the ner Shabbos. So this is a Mishnah. The person should say it, but he's telling you. Rabbi Bachan is telling you, he should say it calmly. He shouldn't say it in a way that they will be scared of him. Know that they should accept it from him. Here it doesn't say because of the Demi Yisrael. Here it says in order that they should accept it from him. So it should be a calm instructions in the house, not that it should be overly fearful. I didn't know this statement of Rabbi Bachan that a person should say it calmly, but I did it on my own. mean, the way Rabbi Khan also said it on his own. That's the way a person is supposed to be instructing his household. It should be in a calm way.
I do. That's the woman's tafkid. Maybe it means whoever's charging, maybe it's his daughter, his son, whoever's.
The mice could be that women used to do it. They would charge of the food, so they do it.
It's also a job.
It could be. I mean, whoever has to do it. It doesn't take long.
It could be it means to whoever has to do it.
Right. Another din about Amy Yisera. Also, he says, here it's going to say something else could cause a person to eat treifa. Adam Gadol, but hitl Amy Yisera Beso, Vachiluhu, Davar Gadol. And the Gemara right away is going to say, okay, that's the statement that was first said. The Gemara is going to edit it a little bit. First, it says there was a great person who caused fear in his home. People were scared of him. They made a mistake. Extra. Ema Yisera. Ema means kind of a fear. Yisera, extra, too much. And they gave him to eat big Isser. And issue would be, why would it be that something was missing in the pot and they had to fill it in? So they gave him something that wasn't kosher in order to make sure that it's not missing.
I'm sorry, Devar Gadol means Isser?
A big Isser. It means a big thing, but a big thing means a big Isser.
Yeah.
Who was the person? He was the person who had Amy and Sarah, and he ate treifa thing because they were scared of him. The one says, could that be? Could you think that it means that they actually gave him to eat? Hashem would have protected him, even though he might have done something wrong with Amy and Sarah, but it wouldn't have happened that Hashem wouldn't have protected him. Hashtas like Avrohom, that even the Tzaddikim's animals, Hashem doesn't cause a shikam michshol through them. So the Tzaddikim themselves, surely not. It doesn't say the story of the Tzaddik, the Behema, but it's other stories that it says Midrashim that they didn't eat tevel or that they didn't take money that wasn't coming to them. Hashem causes that, orchestrates that the Behemah Tzaddik shouldn't have a michshol. So Avrohom, the Tzaddikim Masman, how could it be that Tzaddik was michshol and eating something else? So the Gemara says you have to edit it a little bit. Not that they actually gave him teeth, you have to edit. When it says vachilu, it doesn't mean actually they almost did. At the end, he chapped whatever. He didn't eat it at the end, but they almost did. And what was the double gadol? What was the double gadol? Double gadol ma'niyu, Eivim Menachai. That they almost gave him Eivim Menachai because they were scared there was a piece missing. I guess there was one of the pieces of meat or chicken or whatever were missing, so they didn't have time to check. So they just did Eivim Menachai, and they found out about it. But if he didn't find out about it, he would have eaten every Menachai. So all that is about being careful not to have too much Ema Yisera, that a person, even though they do have to have a certain amount of fear that there's a...
Can you translate like Adam Gadol? Is it what it said? Adam Gadol, maybe he was good in stature, but not in citrus.
No. Adam Gadol, he's a great person. He was Adam Gadol. The Gemara says is that the Gemara calls him a tzaddik and everything. But he made a mistake that there was too much aim. A person shouldn't have aim. We should make that they can make mistakes. To make mistakes, understandable. We try not to make mistakes, but if mistakes happen, it's understood.
And he would in this story, he would have been angry that they didn't serve him.
Or whatever was missing. What happened to that leg? Why is the leg missing? You could say that it wasn't after because of a kosher issue or something like that. Like what happened to it?
No, I thought it meant that if they didn't take the leg, then they wouldn't have been able to serve him the meat. And they say, how come there's no meat at this table? And they were afraid. So that they were afraid not to serve him meat, so they had to do that.
Right, something like that.
Maybe this story wouldn't be in an article.
It wouldn't be in an article. Why?
Because no tzaddik makes any mistakes.
Oh, they never make mistakes.
But
in the real world, tzaddikim also make mistakes, and then they learn, and then they know not to do it anymore. All that, yeah.
Art Scroll would say, "What are you talking about? Here it is, right here. We translated it. It's right here. We have it. If you look in the right places. If you're going to an English book about a story about somebody, that's something else.
It's not on the biography of Avrohom.
That's right. It's not in his biography. But you can find it.
The next Gemara is a side issue. It came in also because of the story before. The way the Gemara came in was because of Rav Yosef, that Rav Yosef thought he wasn't a Talmud Chacham because he wrote a pasuk without doing Sirtut. In order to write the pasuk, he's supposed to write on a straight line, and you have to do Sirtut in order to make sure when you're writing the pasuk, it should come out neat. and a question about 3 words or 4 words, but he wrote a whole pasuk, and he didn't. What did he write over there? He wrote the pasuk, and he didn't do sirta. The Abai said, even though he didn't know the halacha, doesn't make him into an amoritz. He still could be a talmid chacham that he didn't know this particular halacha. So now the Gemara is going to go into this. This agav is going to bring in a point about this thing about this halacha that you're supposed to be masartate when you write a pasuk. And we got a bonus of different stories. Shalchim Marukva the Rabbi Lazar. Marukva sent a message to Rabbi Lazar. What was the question? People that are bothering me. We're going to see soon that it was even a Jewish person, even a Talmud Chacham, but he was somehow bothering him. It doesn't say what the story was. He was bothering Marukva. And I have the ability to give them over to the government. Marukva was a rich Galusa. He had connections to the government. I have the ability to give him over to the government. And that's big trouble. Giving over to the government means he's in big danger. And he must have been troubling him very much. I don't know what he was doing. But this person, we don't know who he is yet. We'll see soon.
Again, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I have the ability to give him over to the government. May I? So he wrote back a pasuk. But here, when he wrote back the pasuk, he wrote it with sirtut. Here it does say sirtut. That's why the Gemara brings it in, because when you write a pasuk, you have to do sirtut, that it should be a straight line. Sirtut v'kasavle, he said the following pasuk. We'll highlight the pasuk. Pasuk in Tehillim, Amarti.
And so the mahu is about what he should do.
Yeah, may I give him over? May I deliver him to the king? So Rabbi Lazar underlined and wrote the following pasuk. Here's the pasuk. Pasuk in Tehillim, Amarti, Eshma. How does it go? That I said that I'm going to guard my ways from sinning with my tongue. I'm going to watch from my mouth a muzzle when the Russia is opposite me. It means even though the Russia is the Gemara says the pshat, now goes the pshat. Even though the Russia is against me, I'm still going to put a muzzle to my mouth. And the Gemara is saying he told him he shouldn't. He shouldn't give him over to the kingdom, even though he's bothering him. Put a muzzle to your mouth, even though the Russia, he calls him a Russia, even though this person who's against you is a Russian. Shalach lei, but he sent back to him. It's very difficult. I can't tolerate him. Shalach lei, the mom is troubling me, and I can't tolerate it. So he sent back another pasuk. Here it doesn't say that he did sirtut, but probably he did. He sent back shalach lei, another pasuk, and it says Dom Lashem v'schol elo. Be quiet to Hashem and his cholel. The pasuk his cholel means to hope, like Yachel Yisrael, but he's saying a different Russia. Be quiet and eschol elo. What's that? Dom Lashem. Be quiet to Hashem. It means like the Shem Shemayim. The word is chola. The word is nashning as chola. Chola means a slain person. That means to be quiet, then Hashem will take care of him. You don't give him over to the Malchus. Even he's doing wrong, Hashem sees what's happening, and Hashem will kill him if necessary. No, the pasuk is Dom Lashem v'scholalo, only the highlighted, and then he explains Dom Lashem v'scholalo, and he explains more. I'm not sure why he has to say more. Now the base of Medrash, it says by us base of Medrash. Tosfos didn't have that. It could be Tosfos understood that it means to daven. Go early in the morning and late at night. So Tosfos says it might mean to daven. Tosfos says, "Gosh, you're not supposed to daven that somebody else should have a tzorah. Maybe here you're allowed to." Tosfos also says maybe it means base of Medrash like we have. It means learn. You learn, and Hashem will take care of him. So Tosfos has a question: if you're allowed to daven, was he allowed to daven against him? Here's Tosfos over here. It's not good to ask Hashem to punish, but he says if that's only if you could do something in earthly court. If you can't, then you're allowed to daven to Hashem. Or maybe it means based on Medrash, like it says in Agamor. Agamor has a gear, so the Marsha says Tosfos didn't have this word based on Medrash, or else he wouldn't have two pshatim. So what did he tell him to do? Don't give him over to the government. Be quiet, and Hashem will take care of him. What did he tell him to do? Either to learn or to daven, but not to give him over to the kingdom.
Is that Rabbi Lazar's first answer was also maybe?
The first answer, don't do anything.
Don't
do anything. But then he said, I can't tolerate. So he said, it means the first answer didn't say Hashem is going to take care of him. The first thing just says that don't do anything. But then he said, I can't tolerate it. So he answered him, Hashem is going to take care of him. Hashem is going to take care of him.
Keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut, right.
I see.
And then he said, I can't tolerate it. So he said that Hashem either be quiet, but and Hashem either go daven or learn, and Hashem will make him chalalim. So here he said Hashem will take care of him.
What's Aleim talking about?
What?
The word aleihim, Hashkem ba'arev aleihim.
About them,
About
concerning
the
them.
people who bothered him.
Right. If it means to daven, it means daven about them. If it means to learn, it means learn and with intent that Hashem should protect you.
If it's the daven, I don't, okay, go on, so.
Oh, that's part of his answer, Behain.
That's all what
What
Beluska
does that
said, Ben.
mean? And they what?
They will perish of their own. It means you don't have to give them over. Hashem will take care of them.
The only question is, if it's the daven, so why Hashkem understand you get up early, you're supposed to get up early to daven?
I mean,
The higher-
constantly, in the morning, in the night, constantly to daven, and Hashem will take care of them.
Okay.
Hadavar yatzami pi Rabbi Lazar, v'lasnu l'gneva b'kolor. So here we know what a person is. A person is Geneva, that's his name. And interesting, because we do find him as being a Talmud Chacham in other places. We had Gemara in Brachas, he talked about over there, the din of Meir Raglayim, how much it has to be absorbed in order that it should be mutter to say the Torah. We have a Gemara later on, it's going to be 2 times in the Masechta. We bring down the Flamed Hey and the Samach Hey, Lamed Aleph and Samach
You
Hey.
can't say it's two different, it's two people at the same
Yeah,
name.
it seems to be the same person over here because over there the story was that he was put into the kolar. He was taken to the king.
What's the color?
The kolar is some kind of a governmental jail or collar, some kind of he was in prison and then he was killed eventually. The Gemara, they did kill him. So you do find him being called a Bar Uryan. The Gemara later on calls him he knows that he's a Talmud Chacham. The Gemara says also that he's a Bal Machlokas. And this is this Gemara that he was making some Machlokas. I don't know the story. There's no history. It doesn't tell us what it was all about.
And article didn't write about it.
Wait a minute,
we don't know
this
the
is-
story.
We're talking about Rabbi Lazar?
No,
It's a riot for you, it's a riot for you.
Geneva is his name. Geneva, how do I pronounce it? Geneva. This is the person's name. You
Where's
find
Geneva?
him right here.
Geneva.
They put Geneva into it. That means he was taken by the government, but not that he didn't give Marufah didn't give him over. Marufah could have given him over. He had connections. He didn't. But somehow, whatever happened, Hashem orchestrated it that he was taken by the government and he was killed eventually. So
I see.
why did Gemara bring this whole thing down? Because of Sirtut. When Rabbi Lazar wrote a pasuk, he did do Sirtut.
Ah.
That's how it came in, but we got a whole bonus of the story.
Yeah.
Next halacha, now it comes in also because of Sirtut. Another story of Marufah.
What's interesting is even if it's like Tehillim and not just Chumash, that's.
Yeah, true.
I did not.
The Gemara before also, no, yesterday's Gemara also, the Gemara had a time of no, it says yesterday's Gemara, the whole introduction was a pasuk in Yoel. He did without Sirtut. Rabbi said he's an Amoritz if he doesn't know that. So it's going on a pasuk in Yoel. And also, you have to write it, if you write the pasuk, you have to do it with Sirtut. My Chavusha said that's not because why is 2, 3, 4? What's the whole issue about 2, 3, 4? So some people understand because it's not so holy if it's only 2 words, only 3 words. But he said probably not. It's also even 1 word is holy. The point is that 1 word you can write with a straight line. 2 words also you can write in a straight line. But 3 words, 4 words, then it starts getting too much. Maybe then you have to make a line.
Is
in
line
order to-
papers.
Line paper is good enough. That if you have line paper, then it's good enough. As long as it's a way that it's you're not writing on cloth. It's not any halacha. Just it should be a straight line. If you have line paper, it's okay
No, but why is it Sirtut, especially you have to engrain?
because you have a blank paper. So you have
So
to.
maybe, why do you have to engrain? Why don't they just say make lines? Make it.
Because it messes up your writing.
That's the way they
It
used
can
to
be
do
a
it. That's the
negia.
way to do it.
If you
Like
have
Harusa
a
said,
line.
sometimes he sees Askama or something like that a row writes on a stationery. And when he writes a pasuk, he makes a line on top. So that would be this Gemara that they take a ruler, make a line, and then he writes the pasuk. Well, I didn't see it. My Harusa said he's seen on letters that Rabbanim wrote, so they do make sirtut on the psukim if they write 3 words.
If you write invitation, if you write,
They make a dafka with dafka not to be a straight line. Over there doing it. That's what he's saying. That's
No, I'm just thinking out loud.
the printed. That's a straight line. When you print it, it's a
It's
straight
only
line.
when you're writing with your hand.
Yes, if you have a
If
typewriter.
you write an invitation to invite someone to a bris, you have to write. If you write on a
On a line paper, you're okay.
You write a pasuk on a round, on an arc.
I don't know.
You have to line it.
If you're doing it as a neat arc, I don't know. Any of the,
I do use, I try to line it.
okay,
We have
Nugamor.
these artworks, the artwork where it's like the whole
The
staple.
whole thing is
It's
not
not
a straight line. Nugamor. Shelf related Maruk, also because of shit that it comes in. Zimram and Alandasa.
So, is this the end of?
And the end of that
The
episode.
parentheses? No.
No parentheses logos because it's not doing gitin. We're going about
Oh, I
sirtut.
see, okay.
We're in the sirtut parentheses. Shelf related Maruk ukva Zimram and Alandasa. So this has to do with the Gemara Sota.
Oh.
We just learned Sota. At the end of the Masechta, we talked about the Pulmos shell. How does it go? The Shabbat Sanhedrin, Batal Shib, the Beis HaMishtos. That after the Sanhedrin was battled, they stopped singing. This the Beis HaMishta. There the Gemara talks about that bad Bakri, the ones who the cattle drivers, so they used to sing while so that's mutter. But the weavers that they stop singing, it doesn't help their work. So then you're not allowed to. Like Gemara says the story over there. Rav Huna was makbid, and over there the economy went up very much. Rav Chisda was not so makbid on it, and then the economy went down. Different stories about and it's over there it says if somebody listens to music, so the ear should be uprooted. The sugi of not listening to music because of Batla Sanhedrin or because of the Chorban, it's all part of the Chorban. So here the Gemara continues with that subject. They asked Marukva, Zimra Manel Asr, how do you know that it's Asr to sing a song? That song is Asr. Because the Chorban means because of that, the Mishnah that it says, and the Gemara is right away can ask, why not quote the Mishnah? Sirte because of Lu, so he also did Sirte. That's the main point of where we want that he did Sirte. Marukva, when he wrote back the Pasuk, he wrote with Sirte. And what did he say? He said the following Pasuk. Al Titzmach Yisrael Al Gil Ka'amim. So really the pasuk says Ka'amim, and for some reason it's written in the Gemara Ba'amim, and it doesn't make a difference as far as the drasha goes. And all the Tfusim they all say Ba'amim, but the pasuk really says Ka'amim. So I don't know why it's different. But he said the pasuk is that Am Yisrael should not rejoice the way the goyim do. Now nothing to do with goyish music. It doesn't have to do with not being like the goyim. It means don't rejoice just as the goyim do. The goyim rejoice. Am Yisrael don't rejoice. Why is that? So the point's going to be because of the Bittul Sanhedrin or because of the Chorban that Am Yisrael cannot rejoice because they're in a state of mourning. So Am Yisrael should not rejoice. That's where he brought it down. This pasuk as a drasha to say that it's also to have music. Why not send the following pasuk? The pasuk is what the pasuk that brings down the Mishnah in Sanhedrin. The that's what in Sota. That's what the Gemara means. That it's a Mishnah. Why make up your own pasuk? It says in the pasuk, "B'shir lo yishtu yayin yem b'sheichel l'shosar." They're not going to have song together with wine. Here it says they're not going to drink wine together with song. It means they're not going to go together. Song and wine don't go together. The sheikhar, which is also alcoholic beverage, will be bitter to its drinkers. So this pasuk says also they're not supposed to have song. The more answer, the more yemar like mar. Yemar it will be bitter. The sheikhar should be bitter to the drinkers. The Pashto is talking about that it's going to become a time of sorrow. They're not going to be singing in the banquet halls. They're not going to want to drink the alcohol will become bitter to them because they're sorrows. But he's saying here that it's halacha. They're not supposed to have song. So why did Marukva say a pasuk that he invented, so to speak? He brought down this pasuk. He didn't make up the pasuk, but he brought down this is the source of Zemer being also. He could have said the pasuk that the Mishnah says. The answer is about the Puma Shari, Kamash Malan. That pasuk alone you would have thought only if it's sung with a kli, instrument, musical instrument. Mana means a kli. But by mouth, when you're singing, you might have thought it's mutter. Kamash Malan, that is a tupsokim, that is even usher to sing. That because of the Chorban, we don't sing. Everyone was mentioned last time that the Rif says in the name of the Gon that if it's singing to Hashem, it's mutter. Singing songs about Hashem, praise of Hashem is mutter. It says nobody holds back from singing songs of praise to Hashem. But he's talking, and he's talking about when it's not singing praises of Hashem.
Okay, and with praising Hashem with musical instruments would be okay also?
I think so. But just to point out, even though you're singing a song about Hashem, as a pasuk, whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean you're praising Hashem. It could be you just want the music and it's a good song for a chasna. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's mutter. Taisha says that a chasna is mutter. Not that in the Gemara doesn't say necessarily. But Taisha says that for mitzvah it's mutter, and that's how the poskim will go. Here it says the shir shal mitzvah shori can go in b'shas kopa shos and the samei chosn v'kala that a mitzvah is mutter. Moshe as a shuva is a banquet, is a dinner for raising funds. Is that considered a mitzvah? He says b'tzad echad nah. It's not a mitzvah. They just want to collect the people to come, and once they're there, they're going to give tzedakah. The tzedakah is the mitzvah, not the banquet. But he says maybe it is. He has a suffix in the banquet.
I think there's an eight, so the chayyim would be to make a siyum there. So maybe
okay, the question is if it's called like haroma, that you're not really interested in the siyum, you're just doing it to have the music. It's not music for the siyum, but siyum for the music.
No, okay, I hear. But if they would merely they would on out of the dinner, I think it's time in the hands for dinner. If they make it with a siyum sechet. Maybe
okay, depends on people that are invited over there. Also, just to point out that sometimes people sing songs that they're not doing it for the singing to Hashem. They want a song, they want to dance, they want to sing. And it's a nice tune. It has these words, it has those words. That's not called singing to Hashem. If their motivation is to sing to Hashem, that the Rif says that it's mutter.
I mean, so like the song Alalei Sashacha would not be.
Yeah, like why do they make a song out of that? You're not supposed, it says in the Gemara, you're not supposed to make a song out of psukim as a kino, just using it as a harp. They use the Torah, the Torah's Chogera and he says Asuni Banecha Kikino She'avetzim Zamin. Some say it means using a pasuk out of context. Well, okay, question. But here it does say that it's also to have song and even zero the puma. Even by mouth, not only musical instruments, even by mouth.
For some reason today.
Everyone does. So the reason that happened, I think nothing to do with Allah, because it happened the same way to go. Nowadays that we had record players, then tape recorders, and then MP3, and it's very common. So people listen to music the whole time, but it's not
sometimes
rabbinically approved.
if you have a audience on a high level, then they sing to Hashem.
If they're coming to sing to Hashem, so then the Rebbe says is what if they come to sing to Hashem, that's
Because it's a lot of times you're coming to sing to Hashem.
if they're coming to sing to Hashem, that's Zichron Chasadav and things about Hashem, that's mutter. That's what the Rebbe says. Everyone, ain't Adam Nimna, everyone does it. But if it's not to Hashem, it's because in order to have a good time. Sometimes people they became like frum. You have to say that he's doing it for a mitzvah. They're not really doing it. They're having to have a good time. Not everything is only because they want to sing to Hashem. They want to have a good time. So they should admit it to themselves. They want to have a good time. It's good food. It's good music. Good wine. So are you allowed to do it? You're allowed to do it. You're allowed to have wine. You're allowed to have music. But music is a question because
Not only music, you're saying the psukim even without
the
music.
psukim is very serious. To use the pasuk because you want to use the pasuk as a
It has
guitar.
good tune.
That's not good. Sing the song without the words. Sing the
Tune without the
tune
words.
without the words. So how did it come in? Also because of Sirta. Again, the point was Sirta.
No.
How does the Gemara continue? I forgot why the next Gemara comes in. It comes in because we just had a story, the first story before about somebody was bothering Marukva and he didn't give him over to the government. So there's a similar story that comes up. We get a bonus. Amalei Rav Huna bar Nosan Rabashi. There's a pasuk in Yeshua where it lists the cities of Eretz Yisrael, and it says over there, Kina v'Dimona v'Adada, 3 cities. So he said, he started saying it Rush about it. Might said Kina v'Dimona v'Adada. So Rav Ashi told him, what's the problem? There's those are the cities of Eretz Yisrael. Amalei Masvasa, Eretz Yisrael Kachashav, those are the cities. The word Masvasa means cities, like Masa. Like Masa means a city. That's what it could be. That's what they call today Dimona. So there are 3 cities over there. So Masvasa, there is Kachashav. It's listing the cities of Eretz Yisrael. So Rav Huna bar Nosan said, of course I know that. That's the Pashup Shat, but there's room for a drush over there. Amalei Atu Anolo Yadan the Masvasa there is Yisrael Kachashav. You think I don't know that? I know that Pashup Shat. Of course that means the cities of Eretz Yisrael. But there's some drush over there, and doesn't say why it's necessary to darshan. It's a long list of psukim of places over there. Maybe we didn't know of these places at the time. We didn't know of such cities. I'm not sure. There's something, a nuance in the pasuk that is looking for a drush. Rav Gvia from the city called Agiza, he said a drash on the pasuk. If anybody has some reason to be angry at his fellow man, it says the word kina. Kina is jealousy. Jealousy is sometimes a bad midah, sometimes it's okay. It's justified jealousy when he really took something from you. Rashi says in general, the word kina here means anger. Anybody that has a reason to be angry at his friend, but he's quiet, Hashem will take care of him. I didn't do a straight line over here.
Where's the shochin?
Shochin adayad. It says in the pasuk kina v'dimon v'adada. So kina is kina. Maybe we'll just do that over there. There's going to be a kina over here. Make that in blue also. Here's the kina. Kina is the kina, and dimona is the domain, and adada is adayad. And figure it out. If someone has kina on his friend, then he's quiet. Shochin adayad also lo din. The one who resides forever, which is Hashem, will take care of it.
It's interesting. I don't remember another time that we refer to Hashem as Shochin Adayad. I maybe have a shot, but you have to have patience to see revenge. So you have to wait Adayad, reminding us.
Yafe. The more as the kasha, so Avashi said, Yidashni the psukim of the cities over there. There's another pasuk over there. Siklag v'dim umadmana v'sansana. What do you say about that? If you want to dash in the psukim, dash in this one also. Elmiyata siklag umadmana v'sansana hachinami. You're going to dash in that also. So he didn't know the drash. I'm like, you have a Rav Gvia Mibei Agiza. I have a Amar Batayma. If Rav Gvia Mibei Agiza, who said the first drash, he'd be here. He'd dash in that one also. I don't know how to dash in it. But then someone came and did dash in it. He said the following drash on that pasuk, and here it goes: Kol mi sheyesh lo tzakas lagima al chaveru v'domim Shochin v'sneh also lo din. Whoever has a complaint against his friend because of food, the word tzaka means the tziklog is going to be a contraction of tzaka and lagima. Lagima means swallowing when a person eats. So if somebody has a complaint against his fellow man because of food, that means they took away his parnas or something like that. So again, domim, here's madmana, and he's quiet. Shochin b'sneh, that's going to be the sansana, the one who's in the sneh, which is Hashem, who's the one who was in the thorn bush by Har Sinai. Also, lo din, Hashem is going to help you out. So there's a word, just to highlight the word that we're dashing over here again, is the tzakas lagima, that's going to be tziklog, and then there's the domim is the madmana, and shochin b'sneh is the sansana.
Again, tzakas.
Tzakas lagima, complaint,
Tzakas means what?
crying out. Rashi, shegozo mimenu v'yor l'chayav l'sharim zonosam, that he's crying out because of food.
Oh, crying out because of that. Okay.
So that came in again because of that came in Aga because we spoke about Maruk for the first story that was quiet against somebody that was Geneva that was bothering him, and Hashem took care of him. So similar to Russia, that people that have complaints against a fellow man and they tolerate it, Hashem will take care of that enemy. This Gemara, next Gemara comes in. Everything's agab over here. Different bonuses, cruises were going on. The next one probably has to do similar to what we said. Zimra Zasa. Now it talks about Kalila Zasa, also about the Korban. Before we said that song is Zasa because of the Korban, Bittul Sanhedrin. So here it also talks about Kalila Manolan Dasa. How do you know that it's Zasa to wear a crown? This is what the Gemara says in Sota. Also we had over there that it's Zasa for a Chassan and Kala to wear crowns by their wedding. Also because Pul Mashalas Pashanas, Pul Masachron. So he wanted to know a source. We didn't know that it's Asr. So he said it's not a pasuk. Amalei Midrabanan. So again, the Reish Galusa asked Rav Huna, how do you know what's the source that the crown is Asr for a chassan? So he said Midrabanan. It's not a pasuk. Midrabanan. And it means the Mishnah we just had in Sota, the Tanan, the Pul Mashalas Pashanas, Gasru Alatas Chasan and Bala Iris, and the campaign of Aspasianas, Vespasian, against the Yerushalayim. So they made a gzera that the Chasanim should not wear crowns. And Eros, we said over there some kind of a drum or a bell. So that's what it says. Ataros Chasanim. Kalila is a crown. Ataros Chasanim. That's what we wanted to know. So he said it's not a pasuk, it's a Mishnah. So that was Rav Huna answered the Reish Galusa. Adahachi, meanwhile, means after he said that, come Rav Huna lafnuye. Rav Huna had to leave himself. So he went out. There was the Reish Galusa, Rav Huna. We'll see right away if Chisda also was there. Rav Huna answered the question and he left temporarily to relieve himself. And then when Rav Chisda was alone with the Reish Galusa, he told them there is a pasuk. Only Rav Chisda said to the Reish Galusa, there is a pasuk. It says in the pasuk, I'll bring you a source that a crown is Asr. What's the pasuk? It says, Kol Ma'ashem Elokim, Aser Mitznefes, V'harim Ha'atara, Zos Lo Zos, Hashafol Ha'agbei, V'hagavo Hashpel. That's the pasuk. Pretty big pasuk. Where's this pasuk?
Yechezkel.
Right. Yechezkel 21. So he said there is a pasuk. It says, so said Hashem God.
Aspasanis was it for Russian?
Yes, what does that have to do with?
Big murder.
Yes.
Or were they hanging out with this?
No, it doesn't say that. It says in the campaign of Aspasianis, they made a gzera against wearing crowns. Because of the campaign that he did against Yerushalayim, the Chachamim of the time made a gzera not to wear crowns by the Chassan. So here the Gemara is saying, I have a pasuk to say that you're not supposed to wear a crown, because it says, so said Hashem, remove the mitznefes, which is a big hat, like a turban, and take off, remove, uplift the crown. We'll see it under the pasuk soon. So slow, so we'll get to the end of the pasuk soon. But so far, what did he want? The word mitznefes means a turban, and it can mean any kind of a turban. But the word mitznefes reminds us of the turban of the Kohen Gadol. So he says, look at that. There goes the turban of the Kohen Gadol and something about the crown. What does a mitznefes of the Kohen Gadol have to do with the crown? What are they going to do with each other? The pasuk is come to tell you that when there is the mitznefes on the head of the Kohen Gadol, the Beis Hamikdash is operating, the Kohen Gadol has his big dekuna, he has his mitznefes on his head, so then all people can wear crowns. But if there's no mitznefes on the head of the Kohen Gadol, so then there's no crown on the people's heads. So during the Chorban, people might hear it says, it means by a wedding. That's what it says in the Gemara over there. So it's also to wear a crown. So he found a pasuk. So what happened? The Reish Galusa asked Rav Huna for a pasuk. Rav Huna said there is no pasuk. It's just Midrabanan. And Rav Chisda, after he left, Rav Chisda said there is a pasuk. But then Avrohom came back. He went temporarily to relieve himself, and he came back, and he heard of Chisda. He heard of Chisda right out the door. He heard of Chisda, what he was saying. Adach Yasser Avrohom came. Ashkechinu Devi Yasser. He heard that he saw that they were sitting and they were talking. He heard what they said. Amalei Elokim Rabbanan Elachista Shmoch Bechazdon Milach. He said, I'm right. That's only Rabbanan. Elokim is like Lashon Shvua. It's a nice pshat. He said, Chizda, your name is Chizda, and Chesed Chesed, that your words are beautiful. A nice pshat, but I'm right. That is only Rabbanan. And even though you have a rembes in the pasuk like an asmachta, it's a nice asmachta, but it's not the real source. The real what? Your words. Yidim Shulchan. The Gemara continues a little bit more about this, about the crown. Each thing is like a jump off on the Gemara before. So where's the next Gemara now? Chazdan Milach. End of that Gemara. New story. Ravina Ashkechei Lamabar Abashi. That Gadol Klila Lebrate. Lach about the crowns. So Ravina found Mabar Abashi that was making a crown for his daughter. It was for a wedding. He was making a crown. Gadol means to. Sometimes it means to braid, but whatever it was made out of, we'll see right away that he was making a crown for his daughter for her wedding. Amalei, Ravina asked Mabar Abashi, it's Asa. Don't you know if this drasha? And if it's a drasha or not, halacha that you're not supposed to have a crown, remove the misnefes of the Kohen Gadol, remove the crowns. No crowns were during the Korban. Amalei, so Mabar Abashi answered to Ravina, do me the Kohen Gadol. Just like the Kohen Gadol is a misnefes, the Gavri, only men. So the men are not allowed to wear crowns, but women are allowed to wear crowns. So the kasha is obvious. We just had in Sota that it says Ateres Kalos also. It says Ateres Chasan and Ateres Kalos. So how can you say that if it's mutter the Fair Mishnah that it's also Ateres Kalos also? The Polmos Shaltitos. So the Rishonim say that that's only if first of all the Gemara says over there Ir Shel Zav, that it's talking about famous Ir Shel Zav. That's a famous jewelry, the ornament that's very rich, and it has a picture of Yerushalayim on it. Maybe only that. Other Rishonim say not only that, even gold and silver is also awesome, maybe other metals also, but it's made out of material, it's material or other kinds of reeds. So that's what I was talking about over here. That Gadol Klila, they're going to say that only was made out of things that are not gold and silver, maybe other metals also. Nowadays, the collars do have some kind of a crown sometimes, but it costs 15 shekel, and it's made out of plastic, more or less, or some kind of cheap thing that I think they say is mutter.
Flowers on it.
The flowers are okay, right? The flowers are okay. And if it's made out, if it's gold or silver, so then they say, also, maybe silver plated, I don't know what they do, but they have also made out of crystal, things like that, whatever they, but it should be not something that shouldn't be considered a crown. Once the Gemara brought down the pasuk of Zos Lo Zos, the Gemara is going to dash in the end of the pasuk over there.
I don't understand where's this Zos Lo Zos? I don't see it.
You see it on the blue? You see it in the blue over there? Pasuk in the Cheskel?
You don't know this stage.
Zos Lo Zos. Hashvalag Me'abag Boa Hashbel. The pasuk right there. What?
Low yourself from your heights.
That's the end. The one that's low is going to be lifted up. The one that's high is going to be lowered down. Zos Lo Zos. The Pashpshat, the Mepharshim say, well, this is not going to be any more like this anymore. Not whatever was good is not going to be good anymore. That's the Pashpshat. But the Gemara is going to dash in this thing of Zos Lo Zos. Here's the Gemara. Once we hear it, the Gemara continues. My Zos Lo Zos. What are you going to dash on this pasuk of Zos Lo Zos? The Rosh Rabbi said the following drasha. When he said over this following drasha, sometimes he quoted Rabbami, sometimes he quoted Rabasi. Rami and Rabasi were like Arusa, same yeshiva. Rabbi Avira got this. Sometimes he got it from, he said it over in the name of Rabbami. Sometimes he said the name of Rabasi. What did he say? What's Zos Lo Zos? When Hashem told Am Yisrael to remove the Mesnefes and the crown, the angel said to Hashem, Zos, here's the Zos. Zos Lenli Yisrael Shektimu Lefanecha B'Sinai Nasal Anishma, Mamish in honor of Shavuos, that is Am Yisrael getting this, deserve this, that they said by Har Sinai, they said Nasa Nishma, they're getting such a punishment, they removed the crown to remove the Mitznefes. They said Nasa V'Nishma by Har Sinai. They said Nasa before Nishma, a big schus. So Hashem said Amalin lo. No. Means it's not because of that, it's because it is. Zos Lenli Yisrael Sheshpilu Es Agavoah V'Gbiu Es Hashafal V'Midu Selam B'Echal. Har Sinai was wonderful, but now they did Avodah Zarah. That they're getting this punishment because that they lowered the high and they heightened the low, and they put a Solomon Heichal means they brought Avodah Zarah. Hashem, they took out and they brought an Avodah Zarah into the Heichal. That's why they're getting this punishment. Once the Gemara mentioned Rabbi Avira in the name of Rabbi Rabasi, so now it goes on a further cruise. More and more going on a tangent. And this just comes in because of the name of Avira. It's sometimes said in the name of Rabami, sometimes Rabasi. So here continues also another tangent. Darash of Avira, the following drasha, sometimes it's said in Rabami's name, sometimes in Rabasi's name. But it says in the following pasuk. Here goes the pasuk. Kol Hashem. Pasuk in Nachum, I think. Is that true? Nachum. Kol Hashem. Im shleimim v'chein rabim v'chein lagozu ba'avor. If they are shalem, which means full, and many, Pashva means even if they're many and full, but still they're going to be shorn and passed away. But the Gemara says a drasha on this. In Roa Adam Shem, they're somewhat going even, but the Gemara is saying hold up in drasha. In Roa Adam Shem is a nosa mitzvah. If a person sees that his parnasa is exact, which Rashi says shleimah means mitzvah. I don't see how the word shalom usually means full, complete. But here there maybe means like exactly what he needs, like it's exact. So he doesn't have a rebach, he doesn't have a lot of money, he just has exactly what he needs. So he should get a schus. Yasim mehen stucca, he should give stucca from it. That's the gozu. We'll see in a second. The gozu means to shear off, like to take off some of his own and give it to tzedakah, and that'll be a schus that he should get more money. The coach king shemi ruben, that's going to mean v'chein rabim. Im shleimim if it's exact, v'chein rabim, and surely if it's more. So it's always good to give tzedakah. The more tzedakah you give, the more money you're going to get.
In both cases,
Both cases, yeah. If it's mitzvah, that's a reason to give because he wants to get some rebach. And surely, if you have a lot of money, so then it'll be a choice you give tzedakah, and it'll also be supposed to get more money. As it says, v'chein lagozu ba'avor. My v'chein lagozu ba'avor. What does that mean? The gozu, lashon of goze, is lashon of sharing. What does that have to do with giving tzedakah? Tana the Rabbi Shmuel, the Brisa, the Shiva Rabbi Shmuel said, "Kol goze is minachosa bosim and tzedakah nitza medina shel gehenim." He's going to be lagozu ba'avor. Over probably means he's going to be passed away from Gehenna. Those days, he shears, S-H-E-A-R, shear. He shears off his nechazim, means that he, like a sheep that has a lot of wool, so he shear it off, then it becomes lighter load. So a person will be able to pass, not to go into Gehenna if he has a light load. If he's heavy down with a lot of money, so it's hard to go past Gehenna because why is he doing with all the money? But if he shears off his money to give to tzedakah, he's the medina shel Gehenna. And says the mashal l'shtei rechelos, the mashal of two sheep. Shahayu overalls by mine, they were passing through the water, a river. Achas gezuza, achas ene gezuza. One is a shorn, another one is not shorn. Gezuza avra, the one that's shorn is able to pass easy because it didn't have loaded down by the water. But the she'ene gezuza lo avra, the other one that has wool, full of wool, so then the water holds it down and can't pass by. So too, to go through, they don't have to get stuck in Ganem. So if he doesn't have a lot of money that he left over for himself,
leaving your will that you should give money to the you remember the Slicins? They had a big, tremendous store in New Jersey, clothing store. It was very, very famous, big store. So he left $10 million in his will. The boys' time you should come out of it. He was lifted $10 million. So she said he shouldn't go up with a big right? It's nice.
Wow.
It says in the pasuk, at the end of the pasuk, let's continue with the pasuk that I said a second ago. At the end of the pasuk says, the pasuk is, I'm gonna afflict you. I'm not gonna afflict you anymore. The pasuk over there, whatever the pasuk is, but here the more zarshni, even a poor person also should give tzedakah. We just finished saying give tzedakah, share, even a poor person should give tzedakah. Yes, please. Okay. Even a person who's supported from tzedakah also should give tzedakah. But some say that it doesn't mean if he's going to just take money and get money, he didn't do anything. It means that he's below the line of tzedakah. He's eligible to get tzedakah, but he also should give. He has money to give. He also should give, even if he's under the poverty level. He's getting tzedakah, but he also should give. But it's not like mishloach manos that eat by each other's tables. There's no Indian of two anim should give each other tzedakah.
So there is. I see sometimes by people that they're not. When their brother marries off the son, so they help them, and then they get married. They marry off the son. They marry.
Maybe that's the question.
They give them their meiser.
No, but also it's nice.
They get the same
then
amount.
they're more busy by a chasa. So here the brothers take care of each other. I think it's a nice thing. No?
Because everybody helps each other. If you okay. No, and
Friends should help out.
Shishvinin is not tzedakah. Shishvinin is the friends. Friends give presents. Shishvinin is not Shishvinin.
Nice,
It's like this. Shishvinin. When a person gets married, so then the friends help him out. But it's not after tzedakah. It's not because he's an
Oh,
honor.
it's not because.
It's a present.
Right.
No, enech. Oh, that's under the pasuk. Tani Rav Yosef shuv ein ma'alo simani aniyos. If a person, even if he's poor, gives tzedakah, he's not going to be poor anymore. It means it'll be a schus that he should get money and he shouldn't get him out of poverty. So we finished that, and now we can put the end of the parentheses. There's a long parentheses. It all came because of Avyasar. Of Avyasar, no, even before that, of Avyasar said that from Babel to Eretz Yisrael, you don't have to say before Nechta because there's Shlichi Shayrasa. People go back and forth from Eretz Yisrael to Babel, so therefore they're Pekin Lishma, and also they have communication. So it's not necessary to say before Nechta, but before Nechta.
And the other thing we said.
Alan,
Yes, please, Joe. You want to say something?
Verification. Please call in Hebrew.
Anybody want to say anything on the Zoom?
Kiyum.
Okay. So we got it because of that with the Sirta, then every was he a Talmud Chacham, we didn't know his halacha, we now know the halacha, and we got the other members, all bonuses after bonus. Back to the Mishnah. So it says in the Mishnah the different rules of Eretz Yisrael as far as gitin, and it says the northern border, the southern border, the eastern border. Rashi says the western border you don't need because it's the Yam, and now the Gemara goes on to that. Etc. The different rules of Eretz Yisrael, and in Eretz Yisrael you don't say b'fonei nechta, about Eretz Yisrael you do have to say b'fonei nechta, and it says Akko is the northernmost city of Eretz Yisrael. And the Gemara here is not going to talk about Dafka. The Gemara doesn't think that it's different between Gitin and anything else. So the Gemara is going to say we find Eretz Yisrael even north of Akko. Remember, Akko was part of the Eretz Yisrael time, or you're saying that Akko is the farthest north of Eretz Yisrael? Raminu, Akasha from Tosefta, it says as far as Trumas and Maisus over there. What's considered Eretz Yisrael? So Mechavusa suggested to take out a map, and here we are.
Oh, there's a real. Competing with MBD.
Advanced. So where is Akko? Here's Akko.
No, MBD is something.
Akko's here. They're called for some reason they're called Akra. That's Akko.
Okay.
Right? That's here we have here. So above Haifa, there's Akko. So here it talks about someone's going from Akko, is going north. And he comes to a place called Achziv. And there you have it, Achziv National Park.
Wow. We have people living in
What do they have it called?
It's a national park there.
Achziv National Park.
Achziv.
So there's called Achziv. So he's going, what?
Make a field trip. Want it now?
It gets bigger and bigger. You want to see Achziv National Park. Okay, Achziv. So he was going from Akko to Kziv. Here he is, the person that's going from Akko. Where's Akko up here, down here again?
How far is it?
Where did Akko go?
It's too small, it doesn't read.
Here it is, Akko is still down there. Pretty far. Okay.
Is there a scale or something or a key?
I'm sure there's a way to say it here in 2 seconds. It'll tell you how far it is. It'll tell you also how to get there by car, by bicycle. But it tells you everything on these things. But I don't know how to use it. Yes, search. Okay.
Ask them how far is it from Akko?
Akko to Achziv National Park. Okay.
Hey Siri, how far is Akko to Achziv in Eretz Yisrael?
I'm not sure exactly how far it is from Hyogo, Japan to Thrill Korean Steak and Barbaikar, but it's about 7,049 miles as the crow flies.
So much for artificial intelligence.
What do you say?
He doesn't understand. How do you say Accra? That's how they pronounce Accra to Achziv National Park.
To Achziv National Park.
Israel.
In Israel. Hey Siri, how far is Accra to Achziv National Park in Israel?
I don't see Ziv National Park in your contacts. Who do you want to message?
Okay.
So much.
Okay, anyway, the person's going north. He's gone. So the Gemara's question is going to be that you're telling me that Akko is the northernmost part of Eretz Yisrael, means the border is here already. When you're in Akko, you're already got to the northernmost part. Here it says that you're going Akko north, and it's going to say there still is some Eretz Yisrael. Now, as we continue, the Gemara continues back on to jump back on. Mimi no the Mizrach Haderech to his right, which is on the road. There's a road over there. There's a road from Akko to Chziv. So if you're on the right, which is east, that's true. He's going northward. He's going from south to north. So on his right is the east.
It's 14 kilometers.
Thank you.
Takes 20 minutes.
Okay.
Where was this?
From
North of Nara.
That
was
Oh, so it's not that
maps.
far.
14 kilometers.
40 minutes.
by car.
20 minutes.
Okay.
20 minutes.
So if he's going from Akko to Chziv on his right of the road, so it's Chutz La'aretz. Tmei Mishum Eretz Amen, but B'torah Min HaMaaseh Min HaShvius. The stam is on the right of the road, it's Chutz La'aretz, because it's past Akko. And it's
What do you mean
considered.
the right of the road?
You're going on the road,
So you're going north, aren't you?
you're going north, yeah. So let's say this is the road. I don't know if this is the road they meant in those days,
to the
but let's
right.
say this is the road.
Not as
The
much as it is.
Kvish Arba over here. You're going on Kvish Arba. So on the right is Chutz La'aretz. This is Chutz
Uh-huh.
La'aretz. But on the left, it's still Eretz Yisrael.
Oh, even though it's north of Akko, I thought Akko was the.
That's the most Gasha. I thought that Akko was north border, and here it says you're going further, and it's still on left of the highway. It's
Oh, I
still
see.
Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
It does say that right of the highway to the east, it does say this is Chutz La'aretz, but there is the left part, which is still. I don't know that this number 4 is the main highway over there, but whatever it is, there's a road, and it says if you go on the right of the road, it's Chutz La'aretz, the left of the road is Eretz Yisrael. As it says, Mimino the Mizrach Haderech Tmei Mishum Eretz Amen B'torah Min HaMaaseh Min HaShvius. It's not Chayv and Meiser, it's not Chayv and Shemitah. Ashi Yevada L'Chashi Chayevus, unless otherwise specified. Means Menastam, it's Chutz La'aretz, unless there might be some places. But there, the road is the border between Eretz Yisrael and Chutz La'aretz over there. But if you know differently, if someone tells you that here is also Eretz Yisrael on the right, okay, could be. But Menastam, it's considered Chutz La'aretz. Mismolo Lamar Vaderech on the left, which is the west of that road, then it is considered Eretz Yisrael. It is Eretz Yisrael on default, unless you know different. Until someone tells you that it's Chutz La'aretz. But the road is the border.
Uh-huh.
In parentheses over here, ad hechan means not parentheses. Until where means I go from Chziv to Akko till Chziv. And how about past that? Ad hechan ad Chziv. Past Chziv, it's already Chutz La'aretz probably, and even left of the road. But until Chziv, left of the road is Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Shmuel ben Rabbi Yossi Amar Mishamov about Lavlavo. I don't know what that is, but he says not Chziv till Lavlavo, maybe a little bit further also. Whatever, that's the kasha. How could you say that north of Akko is already Chutz La'aretz? Here it says that north of Akko, there's still a strip of Eretz Yisrael. Amir Abaye with Suah Nafka, it's only a strip. And Echnav, it's only a strip. So in general, Til Akko is the border. But if you do go left of the road, so then Eretz Yisrael is even further. And the Gemara doesn't differentiate between gitin and anything else. For gitin also, it'll be Eretz Yisrael. People are living over there. They know B'fanei Nechtav, Mitzuyin L'Kaimo. So Enechanami, there is a strip that goes further, and that is considered Eretz Yisrael. The Gemara is surprised that the Tana, say Taisus is proud, that the Tana said a landmark on a road. A road sounds like a small thing. We have Tana Simona Hachi. Does the Tana give a simon on by a road? Rashi learns that the Gemara is asking why would the Ritzua is such a small thing? Are we concerned about a Ritzua? But Taisus says that's not the Gemara's kachi. You have to know what's Eretz Yisrael. But the kachi is, does the Tana use a landmark of a road? You should use something like a river or something like that, a big landmark. But a road is considered a landmark? Mm-hmm. Yes. In Kro Nami Yav Simon. The pasuk also uses a road as a simon. The Siv, a pasuk in Shoftim. Pasuk in Shoftim. Over there it's talking about the end of Shoftim, where the girls were dancing by the Kromim over there, and it says that the people of Yemen want to get wives over there. But the point is going to be that it's describing a place. Vayomeru. Hine. Why is it not going? I'm not sure. Okay. There's all the pasuk over there. It's describing Shiloh. So what does it say? Hine Chag Hashem b'Shilo, Yamim Yamima, Hashem etzvonu leBeis El, Mizrach HaShemesh, leMesila ha'olam miBeis El, Shechema, u'minegev, leLavona. So it says that there's a yearly, annual celebration in Shiloh. Now we're at Shiloh, north of Beisel. Shiloh was north of Beisel.
Oh, there's one pasuk, Ad Levona.
Yes. North of Beisel, east of the road that goes from Beisel to Shechem. And
East of the road, it goes from Beit El to Shechem.
so Beisel is in the south,
Yeah.
and Shechem is in the north, and there's a road that goes from Beisel to Shechem. And east of that road,
Is
that's where Shiloh.
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted. We want to find that the pasuk uses a road as a landmark. Uminegeb Lavona, that Shiloh was south of Lavona. But what we do want over here is that the pasuk does use a road as a landmark to say east of the road. Shel Masila, that the pasuk means east of the road. And also we're on the map already, might as well also find,
What is that an answer?
that's the answer. Oh, the Papa explains the pasuk. So you see
It
that,
means east of the
East of the
Masilah,
road,
which
yeah.
is the road.
right, which seems to be a pasuk pshat, I'm not sure, I wasn't sure.
It's just
Why
showing
is
them
Papa
it's a
saying more
road.
than the pasuk
They're
pshat?
east of the road.
So we could also find that if we could find Shiloh over here.
Oh, nice colors.
But it's not necessary, you haven't laid the Yaakov stone.
Nice colors. Very cool. Yeah. That's
Where do we have Shiloh over here? Okay,
That's from Rabbi Stefan.
Yeah.
It's good you didn't drop, it's good you didn't drop an arts phone.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a little
It
heavy.
doesn't make any sense.
Little bit heavy.
It's showing an arrow, but it's east of.
You see that? That's good. Invented.
Yeah. I think there's a whole team that's doing this now.
West Nile.
Very nice. Oh, yeah?
and so here's Shiloh. Is that true? This is the Shiloh?
Yeah, and it's east of.
And where's
that
the road? There's a
It
road
looks
that
like Highway
goes,
40.
The yellow line.
that goes from, what are we saying? It's
We're
from
going to say
Beisel.
Beit El.
Beisel, we said, Chavrush told me it's Beitan or something like that.
It's not called Beit El.
Here's Beitan. He said this is Beisel. This is,
Beitan.
that's the Beisel. And this is the road going from Beisel until Shechem, which they call Nablus over here, since it's in English over here, wherever that is. Okay, anyway,
It's gonna
Shiloh,
be a big,
You're in
to
this.
make
Further
it
on.
smaller.
not going too much, okay. Good, okay, we got the general idea. But where's Shiloh again?
Shiloh is in Binyamin, right?
Yes, yes. Okay, I'm not able to show what I thought, but, okay. Maybe I got something wrong over here. Good, okay, that's the Gemara.
This is how they have it here. It has the two cities north and south, and there's a road, and then
Yes,
Shiloh
Shiloh.
is to the east of that, and the whatever is Lovna.
Right. The question is if they just made it, they put it on, or they,
Well, it's a Google map, so it is a
but the
Google map.
Beisel and the Shem, they put on.
What do you mean they put it?
I think that, I
They
don't,
labeled it, but I think they
Yeah.
labeled it from a Google map.
could be. Could be not,
Why?
How else would they?
Why
how
wouldn't
else
they
would
use an
yeah,
Israeli map? Topographical map.
could be.
They didn't- they
I just-
didn't
I-
get- they didn't
I
get
just see the other-
Palestinian there.
I see the
The other way.
other presentations that they have that they're not interested enough, they just want to show, like,
And then she said, what?
no, they, a lot of times
They're
they,
showing the highways. They're showing, they said, well, you can't see it very well. They're saying it's Highway 60, or is it Highway 40?
Okay.
They label the highways.
okay. Yashikov,
What do we get?
we got until Mizracha Shel Masila.
Huh?
Mizracha Shel Masila.
Mizrach.
Okay, I'll be back. We'll sit there in a minute, Bez Hashem, or a couple of minutes.
So, Rebbe, did you think about what we're gonna do